Hello friends, near and far, dear to my heart, I'm Victoria with Aligned Soul Tarot. These messages will be for Gemini and all Gemini placements found within your birth chart or wherever you have third house influence in your chart. If you don't know what any of those placements are, just know that I offer birth chart readings. With my readings, we create a story. You also get a full tarot spread where we dive into the archetypes of your birth chart, your own personal roadmap to help guide you through this unique journey here on Earth. In this reading, Gemini, we will discuss astrology, oracle messages, and tarot. And at the end of the reading, stay tuned for a love message. If this reading resonates, please like, comment. I love to hear about your own personal experiences and what kind of support you're needing in this time. We are in Sag season, Gemini, the final fire sign, your opposite. It's like the sunset, right? As we enter into a new calendar year, we stare off into the sunset and reminisce, reflect, right, on all those experiences and wisdom that we've gained, the resilience we've gained over the last year. There's a lot of introspection this month and regaining some focus on what it is we are birthing and creating into the new year. Sagittarius represents the archer, the arrow of truth. How high can that arrow go? How can you take the wisdom that you've acquired and apply it to your reality? Bold and bright like the sunset, we expand our horizon. We light up the sky before we turn inward towards the darkness, especially here in the northern hemisphere as we enter into winter. We have a Sagittarius packed December. Not only is the sun in Sag, but we have Mars and a new moon in Sag on December 12th. And also, Sagittarius' ruling planet Jupiter going direct on December 30th. May we fully and powerfully activate the highest collective wisdom, truth, and awareness for humanity. Now, Gemini, let's get into your December forecast. Hi Gemini, and welcome to your December forecast. As you know, we are in the heat of Sag season. We have the sun, Mars, and the new moon in Sag, and this is going to be in your 7th house for sun and ascendant Geminis. But please feel free to continue to watch for your other placements if this resonates, of course. So 7th house, Gemini. 7th house is all about partnership. Right? Relationships, how we relate with the world and others. So there's this interconnectedness that I'm feeling for you. You might be really feeling on a deep personal level how you are either connected to people or B, feeling into the disconnection. But it's all about connection to people, places, and things. It's almost like an analysis or a review on the kinds of people that you're attracted to or that are attracted to you, right? I keep feeling into this kind of like life review energy of what it is that you're calling forth into the new year. Like all the signs, this is the time for introspection, especially given Mercury retrograde, which is your ruling planet. So Gemini and Virgos tend to feel this Mercury retrograde the most, even though Mercury goes retrograde several times a year, right? There's nothing to fear in that. But again, Gemini, there's an intensity for you because it is your ruling planet naturally. But again, where the tension lies is where the answers are, right? And I'm sure there's a better way to say that, but really, where does the tension lie within your body, right? When you think back to the past, especially relationships with the 7th house emphasis, what comes up for you? Pausing and reflecting on all those interpersonal relationships and how they've shaped and shifted you. And most importantly, what have you learned from them, right? What can you be grateful for the people that are there to support you during these times? We also have Venus in Scorpio, and that's going to be in your 6th house. Venus in the 6th house, it's a very practical energy. Practically speaking, when we think of Venusian energy, naturally you can think of money, right? How we create abundance in our lives. But again, there's like a sense of duty, responsibility to even the people you love. Feeling responsible in some way is what I'm hearing. Because the 6th house does talk about our day-to-day, tasks. But also what I'm getting for you with that 6th house in Venus, it is a lot around health as well, right? The 6th house does talk about health. So how are you loving yourself? How are you tending to yourself with that Venusian energy? We also have a full moon on the 27th in Cancer, and that's going to be in your 2nd house. That is what you have, right? Money. 2nd house does talk about our daily income, right? What we're making, our paycheck. But 2nd house Cancer, I keep getting this emphasis for you, Gemini, of how are you tending to your own needs, right? This need for safety even, which is represented in Cancer and in the 2nd house. So it's a lot about tending to your heart is what I'm hearing. And reanalyzing your relationships for sure. It's going to be at the forefront for you, and you might feel things heating up, even some clarity around that new moon in Sagittarius. All right, let's pull an empathic oracle message for you here. Let's get started on your reading. It's going to be for Gemini for December. What is it that Gemini needs to know? Yeah, there's some sort of like, you're compartmentalizing this month. I see these containers and then entanglement. It's like sorting out the debris, sorting out the past, especially relationships. And again, what have you learned from them, right? What were the key lessons that were imprinted in those relationships, even though they might have not stood the test of time and maybe they were short-lived, whatever type of relationship it was for you, Gemini. It seems that the importance for you this month is learning how to sort them out, so that you can clear some space even in the mind, especially with Mercury retrograde. Mercury rules the mind, right? Gemini is the mind. It's that air quality. So it is important for you to not only sort out what's going on, right, in your thoughts, but it is also important for you to, again, kind of let it go. Let go of some of that mental entanglement is what I'm hearing. Untangling yourself from some sort of maybe mental process that you've had for quite some time even. I'm going to read from the book here and see what other keywords we have for you. So interestingly enough, both of these cards go back to back. So it looks like number 42 is containers and then 43 is an entanglement. So containers, the question I have for you is, are my beliefs about boundaries healthy, or do they create boxes that I stuff aspects of myself into, limiting parts of my experience? Can I let go of labels and the duality of good or bad in order to let the full experience become available? Interesting. So applied to that key message I was getting for you is like sorting out past relationships. It's not really about placing a label on good or bad, because again, both serve their purpose, right? In the long scheme of things, when you think about any sort of relationship, it's never all good and it's never all bad. So it's not about like saying, oh, this relationship's bad, that relationship's good, but it's more about the feelings that come along with it. Did I feel safe? Did I feel valued, right? Especially with that 2nd house influence with that Cancer full moon. Validation, right? Which relationships made you feel rooted, even root chakra, grounded. And then entanglement comes right after. And this is about cutting of cords to all the people in your life. No one needs energy from anyone else. Are you being drained by the unfinished business, old hurts, or neediness of others? So again, there is a lot around the past that's resurfacing for you, it seems, this month. And we have open heart. I feel like the more that you can surrender and let go of these labels, right, of, oh, that relationship's good, that relationship's bad. It's more about, what is this relationship teaching me, right? That's where you can apply this open heart and allow yourself to receive the lessons that are coming with such relationships, instead of shielding yourself from the truth, right? It seems like you might be a bit protective even of your heart as you are moving through these containers and this entanglement that you might currently be experiencing. But for some Geminis, again, this could be around the past that maybe is really outdated, right? But there's still some remnants that you are wrapping your head around. And there is some sort of balance here with the root and the heart to, you know, step out of your head as well. And we're going to look into how, Gemini, you can do that. Let's pull some tarot. How can Gemini step out of the mind a bit, you know, step into the heart, it seems, is the real medicine. And the heart medicine for you, Gemini, is you got 2-7 showing up. The heart medicine for you is not just sticking a label on something without really looking deeper into what it is that it's teaching you. This probably has taken you quite some time, and I feel like you have revisited these past wounds, you know, from even childhood is what I'm hearing. We have the 7 of Pentacles with the 7 of Cups, 2 7s here. So very spiritual. There's a lot of patience in these cards, right? 7 of Pentacles represents time, and 7 of Cups represents having to, again, sort out. There's a lot of this sorting out around the past. 6 of Cups, look at that. 5 of Cups. It is important for you not to stay too stuck in the past. Being grateful for the experiences, the people that have come into your life. Trying to practice gratitude, right, for the lessons that you are learning. And again, also with this open heart, it's like keeping your heart open to the people that do love and care for you, right? Again, safety's coming up big time for you. How can I feel safe? How can I feel secure even within myself so that I can love deeper? It is a job, right? It's a self job, I should say. And a lot of people get it backwards, right? When they enter into a relationship, they assume that their partner is going to do all the work for them. But it all always comes back to self, right? In the end, it always comes back to self. And we have to try to refocus on that. All right, let's pull. Let's pull from the Wisdom of the Oracle. Let's see for Gemini. What do we have for Gemini? I guess, and that's another key to keep you rooted, Gemini, is to not allow yourself to feel orphaned from the past. You know, where have you felt rejected even? 5 of Cups with orphaned here. What's going to keep you open, the open heart, is allowing yourself to understand that the way someone treats you is not always a reflection of self, right? Like you taking that burden and putting it on yourself, blaming yourself, right? What did I do wrong? Is it the way I look? Is it the way that I talk? Is it well, we know self-analysis, paralysis, right? That leads to your demise. It leads to the 7 of Cups, overthinking, right? We talked about being in the mind too much. Almost like this entanglement. You know, trying to place the blame. It's going to be important for you to understand that the way that someone treats you or has treated you speaks more about them than it does about you, right? Of course, we all have to take accountability in our lives. And some people aren't necessarily willing to do that, but that doesn't mean that we put the blame all on ourselves, right? If there's a direct correlation with how others treat you, it's really about where they're at on their journey, right? And we can't force or coerce or manipulate people to do otherwise, right? If they are where they're at, it's for a reason, and we have to honor that. And instead of overthinking or taking that blame and putting it on us, right, making us feel rejected, orphaned, victimized, it doesn't allow our heart to stay open. The more that we can honor where people are at, right, especially when they've showed us time and time again, the more that we can move through life with more confidence even too. All right, let's pull a love oracle for you. I want to see what sort of blockages are coming up in December in regards to love and your love interest. Let's see. Gemini. What do we have for the Gemini collective? Gemini. If you want to get a private reading, Gemini, especially with all this 7th house influence for you, just know that you can find my information in the description box below. Gemini. Gemini. You know, and the 7th house doesn't always have to be just conflict. It can be a deepening of love. Again, like you might be even feeling really validated and rooted in love. But I think even within those processes, you know, even being in a happy relationship dynamic, the past kind of seems to creep in a bit. And it's important for you to not victimize yourself this month. Again, not just placing a good or bad label on it. Your experience with others can be a little bit of both. Another message that's coming up for you, Gemini, is when it comes to labels, right, good or bad, I'm getting this message for you, Gemini, that just because you love someone, right, and you know, maybe they do really good things, right? But there's like this kind of like overall message that I feel that I'm trying to convey to you is, do you feel safe? Do you feel that you can be vulnerable with each other? Do you feel like there is this rootedness, like you have each other's back? You know, you feel that you can open up to one another, right? Open heart. Because, you know, sometimes people get caught up in the basic, you know, well, they called me twice a week, or they bought me dinner, or they, you know, like these materialistic comforts, creature comforts, or we have great sex, like, you know, yes, those things also make a good relationship, right? I'm not saying to dismiss those needs or values, but I guess it's important for you this month to dive a bit deeper into maybe even what it is that you truly value. But I keep getting this message of this need for safety. And with that 2nd house, it could be financial safety as well. That could be one of the things that you are thinking about. We have burned here. So it says, you've been hurt before, so it's hard for you to trust. Let someone in and love again. So you could, Gemini, be dealing with someone new, and you're still grieving the past, right? Grieving is showing up here as well. And so this month it's going to be really important for you to sort out these feelings, cut these energetic cords. Again, not just placing labels on it and stuffing it away on the shelf, but it's more, again, seeing the good and the bad and understanding that both can simultaneously exist. And then reprioritizing what it is that you truly need in a relationship. Because I feel like, Gemini, you're dealing with a dynamic where maybe things are short-lived. You know, you might feel like you're getting what you want, but it's just not, the longevity of it all is not there, right? And I see that Seven of Pentacles here. This is about longevity. Is this going to be fulfilling long-term? It says here on the grieving card too. Sorry, my throat's kind of closing up, so I feel like you might be having some communication issues. It didn't work out the way you imagined. Feel the loss so you can rebuild your dreams. So not allowing yourself to be stuck in the grief, stuck in the sadness. Honor it, reflect on it, sort it out within your mind, and then get back to your heart. What are you needing to feel safe this month? I hope you find that, Gemini. I'm going to take this over to the extended for a love reading. I'll see you there.